Hello and welcome to PMCHAMP's PMP Exam Preparation Coaching Workshop. I am your coach Vinay Prakash. In this session, I am going to give you an overview of the PMP examination. We will look at what is PMI, what is the value of PMP. Further, we will look at how to qualify and apply for the PMP examination. The length, duration, examination process, what kind of questions that can come up, and why people consider this exam hard. Let's understand PMI and PMP better. PMI, Project Management Institute. It was set up in the late 1960s. A group of volunteers got together to see how they could work together and advance the profession of project management. That's how PMI was born, out of a desire to enhance and improve project management, give some structure to project management, give some credibility to project managers like you and me. Today, PMI sets the professional standards for project management. It is international but USA based not-for-profit educational association. There are more than 600,000 members worldwide. It is a group of project managers and educators from various industries that share their project management experiences, applications, concepts, best practices, and this has been distilled in the PMBOK guide, which is now considered the de facto standard of project management. What is the value of PMP? Why study and why should we pass the PMP examination? Let's find out. Well, the value of PMP is immense. Number one, it is international recognition for you as a project manager. You see, the degree which you acquired, maybe it's known in your country, but when you travel overseas, when you go to other countries to do projects, they might not have even heard about your university or your country. In that case, how will they have confidence about your ability to handle the project successfully? But if you have the PMP certification, if you have the PMP credential, then no questions asked, because it is accepted worldwide. People do consider the exam is tough. Yes, it is tough. And that's why the value of PMP is high. If the exam was easy, everybody could pass it in just like that, then the value won't be there. But because it is the gold standard, it takes time, patience and practice to study and sit for the examination. Therefore, it has that high recognition. It is the credential of choice across a number of organizations, companies and countries throughout the world. Another great plus point is that this standard, this PMP, is not specific to the IT industry or construction industry or oil and gas industry. It is completely industry neutral. What you learn here can be easily applied in any other industry. That means whether you come from healthcare, government, engineering, medicine, telecom, or even if your industry is not listed here, you will be able to apply the concepts equally easily. Most organizations today are requiring PMP certification as a prerequisite for a project manager's job. Even a lot of government tenders, if you are bidding for them, they easily say, could you please attach the resume of the PMP certified project managers who you plan to put in your project. So if you don't have PMP certification, if you don't have project managers with PMP in your team, then it will be difficult to bid for such tenders. The popularity of PMP has grown exponentially. Just in the year 2000, there were only about 10,000 PMP certification holders, but today there are more than 830,000 PMP holders, and these are all active PMPs, and the number is growing steadily. So Now let us understand why some people consider the PMP examination hard. So I am going to show you a story from somebody that I chanced upon on the internet. They said that they have a bachelor's degree, they never failed any examination, and they have 8 years of experience in project management. Studied the Rita's book, Headfirst PMP, Oliver Lemon's material, did a lot of tests. And what was the result? Failed the exam, not once but twice. So extremely frustrated and thinking that PMI is keeping the exam hard just to make money. Well, most people fail the test because of 2 reasons. One, they have not understood the PMI's fundamentals. They have not understood the fundamentals on how to apply it for PMP questions. And secondly, a lot of them fail because they simply run out of time. You see, the exam is 4 hours long. You may be thinking 4 hours is a lot of time, but you got to do 200 questions. With 200 questions in 4 hours, that hardly gives you a minute plus to do the question, which is not even sufficient to read the entire question properly. So you need to be fast. You need to be able to quickly recall, pick the buzzwords, pick the important terms, and answer the questions quickly. If you get stuck on a question, keep reading, keep thinking, keep finding what could be the answer, then most likely you are going to run out of time. So this program is all about teaching you those tips and tricks so that your fundamentals, your foundation is strong, and secondly, we will give you a lot of practice with mock questions so that you build speed. Some of these will be time based as well. Now understand why the PMP examination is designed like this. So the PMP exam is designed to test real project management experience and the knowledge of the knowledge areas as defined in the PMBOK guide. So therefore, it is not sufficient if you only have the project management experience or if you read the book cover to cover. A lot of the people who have experience but they have never studied project management, they won't be able to pass because they don't know the correct terms, they don't know the proper methodology as per PMI. And only mugging the book, well, that's just theory. If you can't apply the theory and you can't relate it to the exam questions, then also you can't answer the questions. Plus, project management is a broad area. Not everything is in the PMBOK guide. There are routinely terms and questions that address topics which are not even listed in the PMBOK guide. Therefore, in our training program, we will cover additional topics along the way. I will tell you this topic is not in the PMBOK guide. This concept is not even there, but yet this is regularly tested in the examination. So you will benefit from these. It is important to take notes and keep writing these extra points that I share with you. The PMP examination is not systematic. It is not going from first topic to the last topic. Rather, the questions are randomly selected from a huge database and they will jump from topic to topic. So first question can be on quality management, another one from risk, the third one from collecting the requirements, the fourth one from managing the scope or managing the schedule. So you will see a big jump. You need to be quickly able to change gears to find the right answers. Let's look at what are the qualifications you need to sit for the PMP examination. So this is a good thing for you to check that you are eligible for this. Basically, you need 3 things: schooling, experience, and formal education in project management. So you must have the experience and the education before your application can be submitted. First thing, you must have a degree. For degree holders, you should have at least 3 years of working experience on projects. That is 4,500 hours. That's how we have calculated the 3 years. You can also take the PMP examination if you happen to be a diploma holder or a secondary school credential. But in that case, you must have 7,500 hours of working experience as project manager. Well, this equates to about 5 years of working experience. So as you can see, you need to have a degree or a diploma. You need to have 3 to 5 years of working experience, depending on whether you are a degree holder or a diploma holder. And you need 35 hours of formal project management education, and you need to provide a certificate to prove this. So once you attend our entire program, cover to cover, from the first video to the last video, you would have spent more than 35 hours of video lessons, doing questions, mock tests, and at the end, once you take our final test, we will issue you with the 35 contact hour certificate. This certificate you will be able to use in your PMP application. It is valid and accepted by PMI. Next, let me give you a quick introduction about the examination itself. The PMP examination is a computer-based test. It comprises of 200 multiple choice questions. People get very excited when they see the word MCQ, multiple choice questions. They think, oh, I loved MCQ in school days. You just have to pick the right answer and the other 3 will be wrong. Well, guess what? Here, the 4 choices given to you could be all correct. You have to find the best one, and the best one, how do you decide which one is the best one? Is it based on your experience or is it based on PMI? So you have to be careful here. Even when there are 4 correct choices, you have to choose the best answer from PMI's perspective, not from your perspective. The time given to you is 4 hours. Remember, each question has 4 choices and you choose the best according to PMI. There will be several situational questions. In fact, most questions are situational questions. They will tell you a long story that you are the project manager of so and so company, your company manufactures this, and the vendor came in, the boss said this, then something happened. And then they ask you, in this situation, what would be the best thing to do? So these questions are pretty long, verbose. There are very few simple memorization type questions that you can just answer from your memory. Most questions require you to apply your knowledge, experience, and then see what would be the best thing to do in this situation. It's a combination of statistical, quantitative questions combined with qualitative, management-oriented questions. There are even some formula-based questions where you need to do some calculations. So you can request for a paper where you can perform the calculations and then arrive at the answer. Believe me, such type of calculation questions can easily take you 2-3 minutes, even 5 minutes or longer to draw the entire diagram, do the calculation, and then arrive at the right answer. But you don't have that much luxury of time. 4 hours run out pretty quickly. So you need to start building your speed at which you read the question and the speed at which you answer these questions. We will be giving you more practice on this. What is the passing marks required in the examination? Well, the last published rate was 61% in the examination, but after 2005, PMI stopped publishing the passing percentage. Over the years, we see this percentage has increased. It's anywhere from 70 to 75%. So just to be safe, you must get at least 75% of the questions correct to be safe. So that means of the 200 questions, you must get at least 150 correct. There are also 25 dummy questions which you are not tested upon. So actually the test is based only on 175 questions. The 25 pre-test questions are testing for future candidates. But the problem is you don't know which are these 25 questions. So they are interspread all over the place within the 200 questions. Even if you were to get all these 25 questions correct, you won't score any marks. So for all practical purposes, this is really a useless fact. Consider the exam to be 200 questions, of which you must get 150 correct. That's a best way to achieve success. The exam fee for the PMP examination is $555 US. If you happen to be a member of PMI, which you can become by paying about $150 US per year. So once you become a member of PMI, then you pay a discounted fee of only $405 US. If at all it so happens that you are unable to pass the test in your first attempt, well, in a year, PMI only allows you to take 2 more retests, and each time you will have to pay $375 for non-members and a different fee for members. This fee sometimes changes, therefore do not go by these figures. I would suggest visit the pmi.org website, download the PMP handbook, which is free, is a free PDF, and then check the latest fees and the structure to apply and sit for the PMP examination. But this is correct as of my last knowledge. Even after you achieve the PMP certification, it is not for life. The PMI's PMP certification is only valid for the next 3 years. Well, that doesn't mean you have to sit for the exam every 3 years. No, you only need to sit once. But PMI believes in continuous education. So in the next 3 years, after you achieve the PMP certification, you must collect 60 points, 60 PDUs, professional development units. You need these to renew your PMP certification for the next 3 years. It's pretty easy to renew and collect these 60 PDUs. Near the end of the videos, I will share with you how to collect these 60 PDUs. Anyway, the PMP handbook, it also provides you a lot of information. So it's a good idea to go to pmi.org, download the free PDF PMP handbook and read it once. It's a good way to get yourself acquainted with the PMP examination. It's not very thick, it's about 40 pages, but you can read it pretty fast. It's a PDF file. Now, let us understand the process of applying for the PMP examination. So, of course, the very first thing, you must have the degree or diploma. I can't help you with that. You must have the 3 years or 5 years of experience. I can't help you with that. That comes from your working experience. But I will tell you how to fill it up and how to fill your application. So I'll give you some tips on filling your PMP application form. But the third thing that you need, the formal education in project management, the 35 contact hours. We can provide you with that certificate after you have completed the entire program by watching all the videos, doing all the mock tests, homework questions, and taking our final test. Once you do that, let us know and we will issue you with your 35 contact hour certificate, through which you can then have all the 3 things, and then you can submit your credentials, your experience to PMI in the online application form. PMI takes about a week to vet your application. Once they have vetted it, they will let you know your application is approved, and then they will provide you with the link to make the payment for the exam fee. You pay the exam fee and then your application might be randomly selected for an audit. Audit means now they want to audit about your degree or diploma, your years of experience. It's a random audit. It happens only 2 or 3% of the time, but it can happen. So remember, only fill in factual information that can be corroborated in case of a chance audit. So if at all the audit happens, just download the audit package from the PMI's website, print it out, get the signatures from the different project managers where you have done the experience, attach your degree or diploma certificate, attach the PMCHAMP's 35 contact hour certificate, send this all information to PMI. PMI will come back to you in about a month's time or so, and then once you pass the audit, clear the audit, then again you can simply start to book the test. So PMI will provide you with the link. Now PMI does not conduct the PMP examination themselves. They have actually outsourced it to a company called Prometric. Prometric job is to conduct exams for other people. So they conduct all kinds of Microsoft examination, Oracle examination, Cisco certifications. Basically, it's an examination company. You simply visit the Prometric website, find a center in your city or near your city if you don't have one. And generally, there are several centers in all the major cities and all the countries in the world. So I'm sure you'll be able to find a center pretty easily. Here in Singapore, we have several centers, and I know from my past students, whether you stay in Europe, in North America, South America, Africa, Middle East, Asia, Japan, wherever you stay in most countries, there are several centers all across the continent, all across the country, and I'm sure you'll be able to find one closest to you. The exam is held throughout the year. You can book any day, including Saturdays and Sundays. So you can find a date, pick the slot where you are available, and simply book the date. I hope you got a good idea about the PMP examination, the eligibility, about the value of PMP certification. There is really immense value. I learned a lot while studying for my PMP. That was several years ago, and after that I have helped enhance the profession of project management by coaching, by mentoring, by supporting and conducting hundreds of boot camps, workshops, and through my online trainings which I have been providing for more than 10 over years, that has helped thousands and thousands of students. I am sure you will benefit from this too. Well, that's it for me for now. In the next session, we look at the different kinds of PMP questions that you can get. This is a great way to get yourself familiar with the types of questions. So go ahead and watch the next video and understand the types of PMP examination questions you should be ready for. That's all for now. All the best.